climate justice in Southeast Asia and Latin America, juvenile justice in Eastern Europe and the Caribbean. Helen went wherever she was needed, and then one day her mother sent word she was needed back home. Helen's father had killed himself in the house where she grew up. Theirs was a modest home in a suburban neighborhood about 2 hours outside San Francisco. It was a place where there had been a yard to run around in, and Helen and her 2 younger brothers each had a bedroom of their own. Maybe this was why, many years ago, no one heard the youngest boy sneak out of the house in the middle of the night and head for the backyard pool. Maybe this was why no one saw him drown. Before she was even a teenager, Helen had begun to sneak out of the house at night, too. At first she wanted to know what the world had looked like to her brother just before he died. But then she kept doing it because it was like getting away, at least for a while. Her father was not arguing for a fresh start somewhere else. Her mother was not crying, refusing to leave her memories of her youngest child and the marks she had made on the kitchen doorway as he had grown taller behind. During the day, Helen walked down the halls at school where she earned good grades with a smile. Her parents needed her to be the strong one, and she was. In the dark of night, though, Helen could walk for blocks and blocks, and as she moved in and out of the cones of yellow light from the street lamps, there was no one to be strong for, no one to save. Back from her work around the world, Helen drove her rental car down those same streets, unsure of what she hated more about her neighborhood, the fact that the houses were all supposed to look alike, or the feeling that hers never had seemed like the rest. Next, she went to her father's office, where she packed his personal items into a cardboard box, among them an empty water bottle stashed suspiciously in the bottom desk drawer. When she unscrewed the top and put her nose to it, it smelled of alcohol. Helen felt like drinking too as she sat back and swiveled side to side in her father's desk chair and eyed the hundreds of files stacked haphazardly in chairs around the room. On her way out, Helen politely thanked her father's colleagues as they fumbled with awkward condolences and with congratulations, too, about her many good works. "Your father was so proud of you. He talked about you all the time, you know." Helen did know. She was, and had always been, living proof that her family was all right. In a flash, Helen had a new job near her hometown, this time as a fundraiser for a presidential campaign. There was work that needed to be done right here in the United States, she reasoned. Besides, her mother needed her too. At the office, friendly, impassioned calls with donors were interspersed with weepy calls from her mother. Her house, the one she vowed never to leave, might go into foreclosure. It was on a day like this one that she made her way to my office and told me her story. "I've never said all this to anyone before," Helen confided as tears rolled in steady tracks down her cheeks. "Some people know some of it, but no one knows all of it. People look at me and they see all these great things I have done, and they are sort of astonished when they find something out about my family. But no one really knows me. I don't think anyone has ever really known me. It's lonely." Helen sat silent for a long while, folding and unfolding a tissue. "I'm so tired," she continued. "I feel embarrassed to say that, to be sitting here crying, when I think about all the people in the world who have had it so much harder than I have. It's like I don't have the right to be as worn out or as sad as I am. I don't know what's wrong with me. Sometimes I feel like I don't fit anywhere, like there isn't a word for whatever I am. I just have this feeling that I'm not like other people," she concluded, "that I'm not normal." When I asked Helen if she had ever thought of herself as resilient, she was more taken aback than confused. Her answer was swift and firm. No. "If I was resilient," she went on to explain matter-of-factly, as if I was the one who was mistaken, "I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't need to talk to someone like you." Then, with impeccable timing, Helen glanced at her watch and she interrupted herself to say, "Our time is up. I'll see you next week." She wiped the tears from her face and walked out the door, off to race back to her car. Helen is a marvel. Whether she was making it through her childhood or to my office that first day, she overcame hardships both big and small. The loss of her brother, her parents' grief, her father's death, international injustice, a flat tire. Helen leapt into action no matter what. Strong and determined, compassionate and brave, she was a hero to her family and maybe to some others too. Tirelessly, it seemed, she came to the rescue of those who needed her, and she